You're calling from Australia, are you?
Yes, and I finally managed to get through.
I'm glad.
My problem is that I began to do the meditations, and I had a very unusual experience that my solar plexus felt like it had lots of little, like, bubbles, as I can't explain.
No, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Buzzing bubbles, and when I was doing it, if I put my hand there, it would disappear. I moved my hand away, it would come back. And the bubbles started from there, and they started to move upwards towards the heart area. And then it was like my whole inside of my skull had like a light explosion in there. And it was lit up. It stayed lit up. I couldn't sleep for 4 nights.
Yes.
And I had this heat, enormous heat in the body. It sort of, I still have it. And it's very unusual because what's happening now is I can't get to sleep at night time because when I'm going to sleep, I get sort of jerked and jolted, and I have this enormous energy. I have more energy than anybody could ever wish for, and I've lost my anger, and outside is beautiful.
You're going through a catharsis. You know what a catharsis is, don't you?
No.
Well, it means you've all the junk that you've stored away inside, emotional junk, and an identity that's been forming in you as if it was you. It isn't. Is beginning to disintegrate, and there's a light within you. There's a light within you that's sort of ripping everything apart. It's sort of melting it all apart, and it feels like heat. A lot of people, it feels like heat, and you begin to feel those. Yeah. And so it begins in your solar plexus. It begins around there very often, and because all that stuff you've repressed that would have killed you, that stuff you have to learn to put up with this state for a few weeks. It will go away. It will. You just.
I'm not alarmed.
I know you. I know you're not. I heard. I remember.
I'm just observing it.
That's right. Just watch it.
I don't want this infinitum, but if it is, and this is the path to where I need to go, and I can't turn back. I can't possibly turn back, and if I have to die doing this, then I have
that.
To. You know what I mean?
Listen. I hear in you a very determined, good determination part of you that sees these things happening, and you just watch it happening to yourself because God, in a manner of speaking, is burning it all out. In other words, there's so much of that in you that you didn't know you had. And so as the new light that comes inside you begins to melt. Let me just stop for a minute. Every time you react to something,
yes.
Every time something of the world makes a home in you. The first time you ever reacted to, in a negative way, maybe to a parent or something bad happened to you in your life, the first time you were violated, the unholy, let me speak in spiritual terms, the unholy, the identity of evil, makes a home in you and takes the place of good. It takes the place of the holy. Now, it's sitting in that holy place. It is in a war with the Creator, and it owes its renewal to the approval of other people, or it will get its energy from bullying other people and bullying them into submission to that person, to the person inside you that really isn't you. So this has been going on for a number of years, and what you got is a black mass inside you that feels like it's you, which will die. You know, when you go to the grave, you take that with you, and it's the dark side. See?
Yes.
In other words, it's the dark side you're dealing with. So what's happening is there's a tremendous heat, like the beginning of the universe. The infinitely hot singularity all of a sudden appeared. So this force within you, this light within you, you're only sharing a little piece of it, but it's a tremendous force in the beginning until you get used to it. So I got used to mine. I got used to it, so it's now me. But
Yes.
what made me now me is talking through me to you. It's not me talking.
Yes, that's happened a little bit with myself, that I found that I engage in a conversation and I think, where did that come from?
Yeah, it's not you talking.
And I feel like I'm sitting at the back of my eyeballs, looking through my eyeballs.
Yes, that's right. Now you know the light. Now you know what the light. Now you know what Jesus meant when he spoke to the Pharisees or the Sadducees. The Pharisees were better than the Sadducees, and he says, "You see, but you do not perceive." There's another light. They didn't have that light. They just had mechanical thinking. They're just educated idiots. See, and that was the downfall of it. The downfall of Israel in those days.
I think it's absolutely wonderful that we can all learn about the Eve in ourselves, women.
Yes.
Because I think that was the most amazing thing for me to hear from you, because a deep sadness welled up inside of myself because of I had resentment towards my husband up until that time.
Yes.
And then I could understand, and the compassion just flowed from that understanding of the Eve aspect.
Yes.
And so instead of seeing it as something totally vile about myself, which, you know, you actually look at all those aspects as well.
Yes.
But to let that, like you have compost, something beautiful to come out of that.
Yes.
See how that could be transformed.
That's very well said.
Am I making sense?
I'm listening to you. I'm enjoying everything you're saying. Everything you're saying is the right thing. It's all happening as it should. You are being reborn. You are being reshaped. The dark mass inside you that you call you, that which you want to defend it, and it couldn't take any criticism. See, what I did was, you know what, I talked to the young man you may have been listening to for a few minutes. I told him
Yes.
The reason why he was empty, and he felt this emptiness, but he was a Christian, but then he saw how hypocritical many of them were, not all of them, of course. But he didn't stand up to the girlfriend or the mother because he didn't want to lose their love. I said, you need to lose that kind of love and give them the kind of love she needs. Love the hell out of her and tell her, you know how the cow ate the cabbage.
Yes, exactly. And I think this, the way that you explain it to people, first of all, you sounded like you were talking gobbledygook.
Yeah, that's in your dark side.
I didn't understand anything, but something in me knew that it was the absolute truth. Stick
yes.
with it.
You know, that's a very interesting thing you said, because a lot of people cannot hear me, and when Jesus spoke to the scribes and Pharisees, they couldn't hear him either. They thought he was crazy.
So, yeah, it was just, I could only understand every fourth or fifth word. And I thought, I've been to university, I've got all these degrees, but I don't understand this man. Because I've been, on this sort of, this wanting to connect again, but the whole thing is be still. That's it.
Be still, and you'll know without knowing why you know. Oh, this program number is 8167. That's the number if you want to get a copy.
I really just like to thank everybody out there that has supported this show, because I hadn't realized you have been on radio all these years, and it took that long before the message got to me. But without that, I wouldn't have this wonderful feeling of being connected and knowing where to go. And so thank you to you, being the voice of absolute truth for everybody, and to the people that support and work there. And hope everybody just keeps on doing it so that, that we can all benefit. So thank you so much. On Sundays, my granddaughter comes over and we hold hands and we do the 7-minute.
Oh, that's
antidote.
Sweet.
It's just it's a wonderful thing. It's the medicine of the world. And please, look after yourself.
It was absolute pleasure to hear you.